including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the iRacing IndyCar Championship here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Marco Papanera, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Yes, Austin, welcome to you, welcome to everyone, of course, to Montreal for another road course in the IndyCar Open Series for Season 4 of 2021. You are right, we are in Canada. And this is certainly one of the most well-known road course in the world, especially this hybrid between a road course proper and a street circuit that we have in Montreal. It hosted the series in the past, and great that it continues to do so virtually in iRacing. And it's week 9, Austin. We are basically at the tail end of the season. We have 2 more road courses left, including this one. The next one will be Mosport in a couple of weeks, and 2 ovals, Indianapolis next week and Texas. So yeah, it's the final 4 rounds, which also means if you have done your 8 weeks so far, these are the 4 bonus, so to speak. And what you do in these 4 rounds compared to the previous 8, in the end, of course, the worst 4 results will be removed. So you want to, get the best result possible in here to further boost your championship chances. By the way, speaking of championship, right now we have Adam Crane leading the way with 7 weeks counted over Philip Cross. Then it's Adriano Pinheiro. Pinheiro has 8 weeks, so does Van de Zandt, and Marquez 6 weeks for Adam Blocker, so he has a couple of rounds in hand, to further improve his status in the championship. Harrington has 7, and then Rashad Craig, Kevin Diamond, we don't think does the American SOF with 8 races, and Chris Willite is the last of the top 10. He has 1 less week than the others, so 7 weeks counted. Crane 1-3-4-3 and Kraus 1-3-2-4, so incredibly tight at the top, Austin, for the top spot.
It really is very tight at the top. The gap at the front is under 40 points separating everybody at the top. The top 3, and like you said, Adam Crane and Philip Kraus, they still have another week to make up, and so does Adam Blocker. He has 2 weeks to get there. But now you know, for Pinero, he's got the drop rounds that he can calculate in, you know, improve on his performances right here. And, you know, we're here in the road course at Montreal. Beautiful track. Very tricky with these cars because of the curbs and the bumps. And, you know, we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers struggle around here. And, hey, we're going to be seeing a lot of action as well, because we might be seeing some tire strategy come up in this race.
Brian Carey, Will Lyon and Connor Harrington, your top 3. Adam Blocker just about now installs himself in the 4th position. That's it for his qualifying. Jorge Gregorio, you remember him, he's been great on the road courses this season. He was in 5th, but Cesare Manzato just pips him, so Manzato up to 5th, Gregorio in 6th. He's sitting out on the ovals, only doing the road courses, so certainly I'm sure he has had extra time for practice. Here comes Rashad Craig, he's in 9th right now. Also keeping an eye on Adam Crane, he has no time. And he should be coming on the start-finish straight as we speak. So Rashad Craig on the start-finish line, he's 9th. Let's see where he moves, but in the meantime Adam Crane needs to get a good lap in, Austin.
Well, yeah, he invalidated his first lap, comes across the line, and I think he's invalidated both laps. Adam Crane will be starting on the back row.
Ooh.
After invalidating both laps here at Montreal. Jack Mara, he'll be starting back there with him. Jack, who didn't even get onto the track right there. That is a unfortunate start to this race for Adam Crane. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a tough one for him.
It is going to be not the way you want to start your home event. One of your home events, of course. Kevin Boulassa is in 12th, but we have a Canadian pole sitter. In the end, Brian Carey will start in front of everyone. We still have a few minutes left because Jack Barra hasn't taken to the track at all, so the sim theoretically is giving him time to do his 2 laps, but there will be no time for him. Therefore, we just wait the clock to reach 8 minutes. So we are at 7:22 right now, and then we will be ready to give you the starting grid. And of course, as we just said, it is the penultimate road course of the season, going to be added for Mosport in a couple of weeks time. So we end the season north of the border for the road course side. Of course, Indianapolis next, and then we finish in your backyard, Austin, at Texas Motor Speedway. So very interesting, 4 beautiful tracks to end the season.
Yeah, these 4 are going to be very, very prestigious for all of them. You know, Mosport, you know, it's a classic road course. A lot of drivers love that course, and the IndyCar as well. You know, we got the granddaddy of them all, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And, you know, Texas Motor Speedway, as we have drivers getting onto the grid right now, as, well, now we get to see what tires that everyone's putting onto their car. Rolling start here. We're on the back straight here at Montreal, and it's Brian Carey starting up on pole, and I'll let Marcos read through the rest of the grid.
Thank you, Austin. So, yes, Will Lyon will start in 2nd in front of Connor Harrington and Adam Blocker. Cesare Manzato from Italy starts in 5th, and Jorge Gregorio, of course, we talked at length about him, his series return on the road course, is in 6th. Jordan Lacey in 7th in front of Andrew Marquez, one of the series regulars. Rashad Craig, another regular, in 9th, and a semi-regular in David Porcelli. He will start from 10th place. Andrew Z. Wood will be 11th in front of Kevin Boulassa, the other Canadian, the second of the 3 Canadian starters. He will be in 12th position. Dropping down the order just a bit, we find Alex Van de Zandt. Very disappointing qualifying for him, down in 13th. The 3rd and final Canadian of the grid is Adam Crane. He will be 14th, and then the Kiwi Jack Marra will start all the way down in 15th. So in Austin, it's quite the mixed up grid, especially towards the back.
It really is. We weren't expecting Adam Crane to be down there. Alex Van der Zandt, we usually see him up the grid as well. Jack Mara, he's been starting from the back. Hasn't really been putting in a lot of qualifying. He's not confident around here, to my knowledge. So I think he's just going to be taking this race easy. Adam Crane, though, starting on primaries. It's the only car currently selected with primaries on. Jack Mara will be starting on alternates, so it's a all alternate grid except for Adam Crane, who's going to be looking to be taking that alternate strategy at the start and then moving on to the faster red tires at the end of this race. You can use both tires here, so it's not a requirement to use reds, or primaries, reds, primaries. You know, you can use both tire compounds. Track temperature is 97 degrees with an air temperature of 80 degrees, partly cloudy, 51% humidity here with a wind speed of 15 miles an hour heading in the eastern direction. So this is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. The iRacing Porsche Safety Car pulling off right now through the Wall of Champions chicane. And it's time to go IndyCar racing here at Montreal. Brian Carey gets a good start. Lions stuck on the outside, diving up onto the insides. Connor Harrington immediately taking that second spot, but Lions on that inside right now as they head into turn 2. Getting up onto that curb, getting that car rotated, and jumping back into second place. Already a good battle for second place. And Harrington looks down to the inside. It's not going right there. Adam Blocker is stuck right there. Beautiful moves down the inside by Jordan Gregorio. And oh no, that's Harrington into the wall immediately. And Harrington's trying to struggle for grip.
He's
in the grass. He's struggling for grip. Oh yeah, that car is really struggling. He's doing the smart thing. He feels like he does have suspension damage, and he's just staying off the track, letting everybody past him. We got a car without a rear wing right there.
Oh, it's Jordan Gregorio.
Oh no, Gregorio, yeah, doesn't have a rear wing. It's flopping around in the air. Somehow got that car slow, but yeah, how did that rear wing get dislodged right there? And I'm surprised he's getting that car slow down efficiently right there. Oh, that is so unfortunate to see that on the opening lap too. Well, this is definitely going to be a early pit stop for Gregorio, and you know, he's starting inside this group, so he's letting everybody by. But now watch his breaking point heading into the pit lane. Hopefully he doesn't take anyone out right there. Yes, there he goes into the pit lane. And I believe he's going to be joined by Connor Harrington. And this is what happened to Harrington.
He already had contact with the wall here, so maybe we can find... maybe this will shed some light, Austin.
I think Gregorio and Harrington made contact when Harrington hit the wall. We're going to see there's Harrington and... well, there's Gregorio, so he doesn't make contact right there. How did he get that rear wing damage? Was he? Oh, he's rear-ended right there by the 9. Jordan Lacey got into the back of him. Back to our fight for the lead. Carey, Lyon running away with Adam Blocker in 3rd place. 3 seconds down on Carey, and he's got Lacey on his tail, 3 seconds back on him. So the front 3 kind of separated after that big jumbling right there. But speaking of the big jumbling, Adam Crane is up 5 spots and into 9th place, taking advantage of that crazy start and on primary tires as well.
Certainly just what he wanted to get, you know, stay away from trouble and gain some positions out of this race start. Gregorio is out of the pits right now. Here he comes with a new rear wing, but of course massively behind. Very unlucky for him. Will Lyon, Austin, the fastest lap of the race, is hunting down Brian Carey for that 1st position.
Yeah, well, Lyon definitely going to be challenging Carey, using that draft to his advantage. The draft would be very useful for these drivers to stay with the leader right here, and also save up and use that push to pass sparingly and smartly as well. And save fuel too, is because I believe these guys can make it on 1 stop, but I think most of them might be yeah, I believe most of them can be making it on 1 stop. We might be seeing a 2 stop here if things get stretched extremely thin. So this is Kevin Bohalasa behind Adam Crane. The fight for 9th place. Different tire strategies. The red tires do fall off in the middle of the stint, but they do actually gain some pace back on the, well, they do gain some pace near the end of the tire life as, well, the car gets lighter, the car gets faster, and as this track is mostly straights, you can get some speed back, but you know, the middle of the stint's going to be the one that really hurts these alternate tires. Looking back at the fight behind Adam Crane, almost making contact with the world champions right there. Gosh, I love that final chicane, but it's so tricky to get right because sometimes you have to get onto that curve, and these cars do not like curves. Sending it down the inside. That's Jack Marha almost cutting across the nose of Andrew Wood. Andrew Wood making a little lockup as Connor Harrington gets down onto the inside and up to 12th place.
So in the end, we still need to see what happened to Connor Harrington's car. I mean, more importantly, how is his car feeling after that hit with the wall, because he hasn't stopped. So, and he's steering.
I feel like he just tapped the wall. He didn't know. He felt the car was really loose at the time, and you know, at that point, he didn't want to risk driving a damaged car and causing a massive wreck. So he just let everybody by and diagnosed the problem on his own. But I believe Connor Harrington thinks everything is all right there, and is continuing on right now. And you know, that's a great news if you're fans of Connor Harrington, not seeing him completely out of the race. But he does have some aero damage. If you look at his rear wing on the right hand side, it is kinked up just a little bit.
Back to the fight for the lead. Here is Brian Carey, and 23.0 for him, 22.86 for Will Lyon in this last passage. Here comes Harrington on Marra, and he gets the job done up into 11th position.
A beautiful move by Connor. Even with a slightly damaged car, he is really flying around here. Harrington back into 11th after a unfortunate start, as you know, these walls can really bite you. To get all the way up to the wall right there. Back to our fight for the lead between Carey and Lyon. Coming through another one of these chicanes, and Adam Blocker is slowly closing in on these two.
He was, together with Lacey, much quicker than the both of them in the previous lap. So let's see if the trend continues in lap number 5.
Well, Brian Carey activating push to pass right here to defend from Lyon. And Lions, that's going to be a very welcomed draft to try to pull away from Blocker right there. And, you know, that push pass not really doing much for Carey. Does gain about a 10th down the straight. But, you know, Carey is right there. And, look, Carey is still got company behind him. I think he might be looking to try to get into alternate strategies right here, because Lyon is on his tail.
Blocker 22.57, once again almost 3/10 faster than the two guys in front of him. So this could very well become a 3-horse race in just a couple of laps. Lacey also keeping up with the pace, but needs to be a bit quicker. Manzato in 5th, having a nice return to the series. Nice Porcelli, Craig. Andrew Marcus, you see him here in front of Adam Crane, who's trying to shrug off Kevin Boulassa, but of course, difference in tires, Austin, still very much felt between the primary and the alternate.
Yeah, and I believe the alternate is going to start falling away very soon. You know, the track temperature, it's not 100 degrees. It's not that toasting hot. It's 97 degrees, but, you know, that's going to speed up the degradation just a little bit. And, you know, these red tires might start falling away. They do fall away in the middle part of the stint. And, you know, we're getting about 20 laps in these tires, and we're about to start hitting that middle stint. So those primaries might be the better tire to be on right now. Those alternates at the start not really working for the back of the grid, as, you know, they were mostly avoiding incidents and not really pushing the tires to their advantage. And, you know, Crane took that to the advantage right now. He's up 5 spots and sitting in 9th place. And looking at his time right now, he's running a 23.43. And everyone around Boulassa that did a 23.5. Car ahead of him did a 23.6. So Adam Crane, that little bubble of his, is in the faster car. And he's slowly pulling away from Boulassa and closing in on Marquez.
And of course, then he has that ace has to play with the alternate tire towards the ends of the race, so we'll keep an eye on him as the race goes on. Still
if
another.
he chooses to go on to it, you don't have to
Yes.
go on to him.
Exactly. That's why, you know, we're always waiting, because if this were, you know, set in stone that you had to use both compounds, of course we would know already, and it wouldn't be as exciting as it is on Monday nights here on Apex Racing TV, you know? You never know what is this driver, and we've seen the season already, to be fair, drivers pull off some interesting strategies to win the race.
Yeah, Adam Blocker at Zandvoort switched late onto the primaries on a shorter stint as well to take the lead with 4 laps to go. We almost saw it happen at Red Bull Ring with a late pressure on the primaries on alternates as well, but unfortunately the alternate strategy won that one, but just barely. And it, you know, everyone is really excited about the new tire model and everything. You can really push these tires to the edge as Adam Blocker is still closing in, and you know, he can reach out and touch Will ahead of him and Brian, because he is right in this fight, and these two are slowing each other down. And Adam Blocker is currently half a second, I believe, faster than them off of his last lap time.
But Austin, we haven't talked about the elephant in the room today, which is this racetrack, because we have seen at the start already, but at any moment the driver can make a mistake, and apart from a few corners like here the hairpin, there is absolutely zero chance you survive, because the walls are so close.
Yeah, we saw it at the start with Connor Harrington getting into the wall and almost making contact with everybody else, getting the car kicked out. Brian Carey taking a defensive line around that kink, staying tight, and you know, getting some draft advantage on Will behind him as they head into that final chicane. Notice how nobody is taking trying to cut that corner, because you know, if you take the curb wrong in this car, you will get damage, and you do not want any aero damage around here, especially coming out of that corner, because you might get kicked out, hit the wall, and that will be a 3-car pileup right there. And speaking of 3 cars, it's a 1-2-3 car fight for the lead.
It is now officially, and yes, you know, great point that everyone knows, of course, was those extra sausage curves that have been added when the track was scanned, because this track was scanned during a nationwide series racing weekend. So they have these big white sausage curves on the inside of some corners, for example here, and at the Wall of Champions you can see them there, and you know, these cars do not like them. Most cars do not like them.
Yeah, most of the single-seater cars on the service, I think all of them do not like the massive curbs. Yeah, there's none. Yeah, most cars hate curbs. The only ones that are totally okay with it are super trucks. Well, that's an entirely different story right here. As we ride on board of Adam Blocker. He's surveying this fight, but he was really close to Will throughout that race. As there we go. There's some curb uses right there, but it's getting a wheel up there, not taking it fully. But Blocker closing down on Will and Brian. Last lap for Blocker. It was actually slower than these two. He had to get on the brakes just a little bit, get back on, just to back out of it. As Curry gets really close.
Went super deep into the braking area of turn 1. He went so deep, in fact, that he almost had to go to the grass to avoid, you know, because he went so deep on the brakes. He was able to save the car, but this compressed this top 3 even more. You saw that Lion was basically knocking on his rear wing there at the first chicane.
Yeah, Lion got really close as he had to slam on the brakes to avoid Brian Carey. Adam Blocker is back there, and you know, he's just minding his own time, waiting for that right moment for Adam Blocker to get up into the lead and make that move for second place and into the lead. But you know, Adam Blocker currently right now, if I was Adam, I'd just be sitting behind them, saving fuel, trying to extend my stint just a few more laps, and try to pull out a very good overcut right here. So Adam Blocker gets onto the brakes into the final chicane as they continue on, and onto lap 11 they go. Carey, Lionel Blocker, your top 3, Lacey, Gonzato in 5th, Porcelli in 6th, followed by Richard, Fred Marquez, and Adam Crane in 9th place. We have a fight for 11th between Harrington and Mara. Harrington and Mara in a fight. Mara's had an incident. He's fallen down to 13th. And Jack Mara's in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Let's have on a Jack. We'll get a replay to you very soon.
I'll tell you what, not seeing anything wrong with this car.
Oof. He took the pit lane to avoid an incident. Almost got rear-ended everybody. And he locked up, then instead of going wide and taking the runoff, he just decided to dive it into the pit lane. So Jack, not sure if that was intentional, but he did stop. He did make a stop, put on alternates again, but yeah, that was a very odd move by Jack Mara, but avoiding the collision to dive into the pit lane might choose to be a smart move here on lap 11 if he just wants to grind that safety rating, but you know, it's Class B, nobody's really grinding that SR anymore. And he's an 84.25 driver, so I think that was just avoiding contact and then making the best of a worse situation.
Yeah, I don't think when you get into a top split you worry about you know, you are in the top split and basically you are out of Wood and Harrington. Okay, I saw the timing tower went a bit into a moment of confusion. I thought there was a collision, but no, Wood and Harrington are in, so can we say pit window is open at this point, Austin?
I would say so. Yeah, it's an early pit window right here. They're setting up for the end of the race, taking the short stops early instead of at the later end of this race. So absolutely, it is here. I would say this is absolutely the time to head into the pits. You know, short stop the first time on alternates, maybe switch onto the primaries for the long run, and then at the end go back onto the alternates. We are seeing the two-stop strategies right here as the YouTube bots is starting to spam our YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, let's go.
We've made it. Brian Carey getting onto the brakes with Lion and Blocker still right behind him. Push to pass being activated by Brian Carey, but Lion is right on his tail. He's on that gearbox. He can look down the inside right here, but he backs off and decides not to go for the move. Adam Blocker is just still watching. Then a little bit of lockup from Lion. The car's starting to get a little bit tighter for Will. He's starting to struggle with that car. That dirty air not making it very easy. Even though it's a slow corner, the dirty air is not going to be affecting him that much. He is still being affected through these fast chicanes right here, and he's getting more wear onto those tires, and he's very aggressive on the brakes. We're out on board of Adam Blocker. Adam's just, yeah, he's just biding his own time right here. I think Adam's going to try to go as long as possible in this first stint and then head into the pits, try to go for a fast second stint, and then finish out the race in a fast third stint.
Especially because he knows that making the pass is not a clear-cut thing, especially here towards the top of the field. So if you want to make a move, you're going to have to fight for it, and if you pass Will Lyon for second place, stretching your legs is not an option because you have Brian Carey then in front of you, you know, so
yeah, it's
not like you have clean air to then pull away. You're still deep in the fight, so he knows that if he makes the move, you know, it's not going to be easy, and B, as somebody has sucked the brakes there, you know, it might be in the end counterproductive. So especially because they are gaining on fourth place right now, slightly, not in this lap. No, slightly in this lap. In the meantime, Van de Zandt is in. So another taker. So now Kevin Bourassa.
Connor Harrington. Yeah. He has not come out of the pit lane. So Harrington, he went into the pits, but he's never came out. And so, you know, he had that damage. So I think Harrington, yeah, he's retired from the race.
Yeah.
But he came in there with Wood, and so Wood went in there on strategy. Harrington went in there because I think it was just done, but here comes Van der Zandt going on to that early pit strategy. He's put onto the primaries now. Second car to put on the primary boots as he takes out there on track. He's going to go for a long stint.
You know, Austin, maybe Connor went in at the earliest chance possible to keep it on a sensible strategy, but then he realized the optional repairs were too long, and so he felt like the car wasn't 100% or close to 100%, so he wanted the car to be okay, but the moment you see like 2-3 minutes of repairs, you say, you know, okay, you know what, maybe another day.
Yeah, maybe another day. You know, you do have all week, but you know, this is the race where the SOF is at its highest right here, as Adam Blocker still charging behind him, and he's getting so much better turn-ins than Lion and Carey that he just gained a lot of time through that first chicane, but you know, they were right there and kind of acting like Roblox right now, as Lion's back end starting to kick out, get a little bit loose coming out of that corner. Adam Blocker still in that draft, and now we're going to start seeing Adam Blocker on the attack. Yes, we are. Big send up the inside of Will, and he's going to try to make that the double. And oh, contact between Will and Blocker. Blocker and Will make contact off the exit. Will got a little bit loose. Backhand kicked out. He hit Blocker in the side pod.
Let's hope that both cars are okay. They seem to be here. For a second, we had some massive damage.
Blocker and Will, they both dive into the pit lane. Yeah, Blocker's side pod, it is damaged. It is loose. And that is not what Adam Blocker needed. He went for the move, and then off the exit, the car he was racing just got a little bit loose. And, you know, that just throws a giant wrench in your plans right there. That is so unfortunate for Adam Blocker and Will Lyon right there, as Adam Blocker is going to get the damage repaired, as I believe Will doesn't have that much damage on his car. Then Adam, you know, is a very quick fix by him, and he's going to back out on track right there. So, yeah, Will's got the front wing fixed right there. They both come out back on primary tires for the alternate tires, and alternate tires for both of them. Behind them, Kevin Bolarasa goes into the pit lane on primaries. But here is a replay of the incident. Adam Blocker, big send up onto the inside. A lockup of the wheel, kept it on the inside. Then wheel just got extremely loose and went sliding into him off the exit.
And, you know, we are not certainly happy for what happened, but as you know, sometimes when we say something, we are right, and we talked about that just a couple of minutes ago, no? Making the move is a risky proposition, especially at the front of the field where the cars are so close.
Yeah, and I was watching your view from that. There was definitely side pod damage, but it could have been worse as Andrew Marquez hops into the pit lane. The back left wheel, thankfully the iRacing damage gods didn't keep that one, letting him have his wheel back, or else that would have been a race-ending hit for Adam Blocker as he makes his way past Marquez, who is currently in the pit lane. Blocker in 7th place. Car ahead of him is Adam Crane, who is on those primary tires, started on those primary tires, up 8 spots after not the best qualifying. Was this in Adam Crane's strategy book that if he doesn't qualify good, he's going to go on to the primary tires and then try to go as long as he can and use these primary tires to their advantage and, you know, use the pace fall off that the red tires do, well, to his advantage, and close down on everybody, and then try to go for two short ones.
It's almost weird to see that black sidewall on those cars, on those tires, you know, given that almost everyone is... By the way, Boulassa and Van der Zandt are also switching to the black tires for the second stint. Adam Crane is pushed to pass Ig, if that's a word, because I think he's about to stop. No, just... no, going continues on. Just, you know, you have push to pass. It was his first use of push to pass all race long.
I feel like he's looking at data and he knows that he's faster than Richard Craig, so he's already trying to make that adjustment and make that advantage. As Kevin behind Van der Zandt, they were going side by side, heading into the hairpin in the back end, kicking out for Van der Zandt right there. Here comes Kevin down onto the inside, drag racing heading into the wall of the champions. And it's Kevin down onto the inside, holding off Van der Zandt right there. Wonderful pass down the inside and a wonderful fight between these two.
Austin, bit of a down stretch of races for Van der Zandt. Also in the previous week struggling a bit, and today no different.
Yeah, I can agree with you on there because it is absolutely, you know, the field is really spread out. It's only 15 cars here. You know, we were sitting at 26 when the race was about to start, but you know, with the time change, some drivers were not ready for it. As Brian Carey hops into the pit lane,
Everyone is
followed
in
by
now.
Lacey and Mazzato hops into the pit lane. Porcelli's heading into the pit lane. Richard Craig, are we going to be seeing him dive into the pit lane? One car stayed out. It is Richard Craig. He's going to go for another lap.
Here comes Crane now.
And Adam Crane. We were expecting at the start of the race that, you know, it takes a gallon a lap around here. Adam Blocker, we saw him head into the pit lane. He's going to stay out on that alternate strategy after that damage. But there's Brian Carey coming out onto the track on alternates once more. His home track. There's Will, you know, returning into 4th place right now.
So Crane on alternate, Porcelli on the primaries. And
switching up the tires, switching up the strats. I love it. Let's go.
It's everyone in, apart from this man. Rashad Craig was enjoying some nice TV time at the front, and I think his pit crew is waiting for him at the end of this lap, where we are just a couple of laps away from the halfway point, Austin. So basically, I think we can expect another stop down the road for these guys.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing a 2-stop strategy right here. Most of the drivers stopping on lap 18. We should see them around lap 36 make their final stop for these drivers right here. There comes Craig. You know, he's able to save enough fuel to go one more lap. And so that will be lap 37 for Richard Craig. That's his limit. Adam Blocker, though, this is a very unique situation for Adam Blocker because he went into the pits on lap 15. He has to go into the pits again on lap 33, make an early stop, and you know, that is a very nice number to be at. I believe we're going to start seeing people stop with 18 laps to go on 45, or maybe 10 laps to go to 45. 18 to 10 just seems like that sweet spot for a good Reds run, or if you want to go with the long run, maybe a primary run with the Reds starting to wear out near the end. But you know, we might see our version of a F1 short pit stop like they used to do in the old days with the faster tires. And you know, the double pit stop is absolutely where strategy comes alive right here. This is what the guys with the teams behind them, you know, they plan for this, they practice for this, they know which strategy works the best for them. And, you know, they've done pace analysis. Adam Crane looking down the inside. Big send by Adam Crane on Jack Mara. And he makes the move work for 8th place.
Here comes Rashad Craig on super fresh alternates. He
Not
doesn't
sending
pull
it
the
down the
trigger.
inside.
No.
Jack, he saw that one coming. He went deep on the brakes, but, you know, Craig not finding that. And Jack did it onto the push to pass to try to catch up to Crane and hold off Craig. He doesn't want Craig going down his inside and attempting another move right there because, you know, they're in a nice grouping right here. And this grouping is being led by Andrew Marquez with Adam Crane right behind him.
Marquez
And actually
and
ahead
Crane,
of him is Porcelli on the primaries.
They almost have a reverse livery one to the other, you know?
It's not intentional, but it looks really good.
Crane, I think, now unleashing. You know, he has gone patiently at the beginning of the race, being on the different tires and also being in a good position thanks to the drama in front of him. But now he's going to be pedal to the metal for the number 2 car, and he'll try to dispatch Andrew Marquez as soon as possible. Of course, easier said than done.
Yeah, Marquez leading out Crane, and Crane just staying with him and trying to apply some pressure. Speaking of pressure, Rashard Craig is applying pressure to Jack right behind him in the fight for 9th place. That was a wide exit. Push to pass being activated by both of these drivers. And, you know, they have telemetry. They know when the push to pass is being activated by drivers with onboard telemetry. You know, telemetry of other apps where, you know, their spotters letting them know that, hey, they've activated push to pass, and you need to activate yours to stay with them. And that's what both of them did right there. They both pulled away from this fight for 9th place. And Rashard Craig just staying behind Jack. And, you know, Jack's been having a good day.
He has +6 on his starting position, and so SD Gregorio, I think, calling it a day after his pit stop.
At the start?
Yeah, he just...
he had that wing issue, and I feel like he's just called it a day. Went into the pit lane, and, you know, 2 cars out here today at Montreal. As Marquez and Crane still nose to tail with each other as they head into the hairpin. Ooh, Crane trying to get a little spicy play, a little bit of mind games. Showed the nose down onto the inside, selling a little bit of fake. As with Rashard Craig, activates push to pass, gets a better exit, getting a good run on the straight, looking around the outside right here. Here comes Craig around the outside of Jack, side by side, heading into the wall. Champions. Craig's already made that move, and he's gonna take 9th place right there.
Now next target will be Adam Crane, who's still dealing with Andrew Marquez, but here comes Marra, almost almost colliding with each other in the braking area. Marra had a fantastic run, but nowhere to put his car, so he stays down in 10th for a second, and yeah, I think we can safely say, Austin, the fight for 3rd will be very spicy very, very soon.
Absolutely. Jordan Lacey and Will Lyon, both of them, you know, they're slowly attracting each other. Will did go into the pits earlier, 3-lap older tires, and so, you know, he's on a different strategy right here. Will, you know, he did have that damage with that contact with Adam Blocker, so Jordan Lacey, he is closing it in and looking for that podium spot right here with 23 laps to go here at Montreal. And we're expecting our first short stop, our short second stint stop to go when when our time tower says 18 to go. That's when we should start seeing drivers try to go for their secondary stop. Short stints, that's the word I was looking for. Andrew Marquez still in the fight with Adam Crane. Crane still behind Marquez, and Adam Crane, you know, good race so far. Not the best qualifying, but, you know, he's comfortable where he's at right now. If Adam Crane was really wanting to go for this move on Marquez, he would have shown his move right there. Both of them activated push to pass at the same time, so, you know, they're both doing their own race, but they are closing in on Porcelli ahead of them. And Porcelli's last lap, 23.54. And Adam Crane was faster. Marquez was actually slower than Porcelli. So I think right now is the time for Adam Crane to start making that move, because he is losing the car. There we go. Looking down the inside, Adam Crane. Looking down the inside, getting up onto the curb, activating push to pass right there. Adam Crane trying to win it off the exit, and he does. He's ahead of Andrew Marquez. Adam Crane up into 7th place, trying to chase down David Porcelli.
Nice move there. Can he hold it though? I think he can. Now at the final chicane, hopping on those curves as little as possible and avoiding the wall of champion. Fantastic stuff. Now Crane has to push hard. Here comes once again Boulassa on Wood. Oh!
Van der Zandt in the back of Wood. Wood's around. Van der Zandt's got wing damage.
Here we go with the replay. Oh!
Oh, that's just misbraking right there. And Andrew Wood, I think he's got the worst of that. I know Van der Zandt does have damage on the front wing, but that is so unfortunate for Wood being turned around. And Wood's actually got his car into the pit lane to avoid having to go around the entire track.
Big disappointment, of course. You know, it was a chaotic situation because there was an overtake from Boulassa on Wood, and maybe Wood was not, you know, trying to leave some space. Maybe doing this, he slowed down a bit more than expected, and Alex didn't expect this, or too late to react. It's a, you know, matter of inches there, of course, and fractions of a second, and that's how the collision basically was made. So disappointing for both of them. I'm expecting, of course, Van der Zandt to have a trip down pit road this time by to repair that damage. At the front of the field.
Yeah, we'll definitely head into the pit lane. Andrew Wood went into the pits in what?
Maybe not.
You know, Van der Zandt on his screen, he might not have wing damage because he's really throwing that car around the track. And this might be on both of our side.
No, it's too long. Usually after a few seconds we get the update. Usually it's a few seconds before then we get the update. One lap.
That was a 125 though from Van der Zandt that time by, and that was a slow line. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't. Oh, big send by Crane down the inside of Porcelli on those primary tires, unable to defend from Adam Crane. All those alternates, he waited for his time. He knew what he had to do. And here comes Porcelli off the exit, and Adam Crane side by side heading into the hairpin. Porcelli trying to hold it around the outside, get that switchback move going, and get the better run there. You can see both of their cars sliding off there. Adam Crane activating push to pass to defend from Porcelli. And that's Will Lyon turned around at the wall of champions. And big crash right there, and so unfortunate for Will.
We'll get the replay as soon as this move is done. Craig on Marquez gets the job done, keeps the car in one piece, but Will Lyon, I'm afraid, has had close contact with the wall of champions.
Heading into the brakes. Oh, he just ate that curb and just went around right there. Hit that inside curb as well, and that inside curb is what actually took his front wing off the car. You know, those curbs are deadly. Usually they'll just bend the wing, but not completely rip it off the car. Here's another angle of that from the outside of the car. You see, it just eats the curb, two wheels off the ground, and that just upset the car so much, and then around it goes.
And the wing should disappear sometime.
It disappears when he hits this curb. And there it goes. Yeah, it just flies off.
So Jordan Lacey promoted, and together with him almost everyone, because now of course poor Will Lyon has to do a full lap without the front wing.
Yeah, Will Lyon and Van der Zandt, both of them wingless right here is Will Lyon.
Manzato is in.
Into the pit lane. And, you know, this is a good time for Manzato and Lyon, because you know what I said earlier, with 18 laps to go, you can make it to the end of this race. It is 18 laps to go for these drivers. So, you know, a unfortunate pit stop with damage, but, you know, he has a good out to go into the final pit stop and make it to the end of this race. And you know what? Van der Zandt head into the pit lane. I think that's what he was doing as well.
Yes. Waiting an extra lap makes a lot of sense. You know, it's one of the biggest things for a driver to have positives to, even in the moment of trouble, have a clear mind and say, you know what, I need to stop the next lap so I can make it home. By the way, in the second stint, Andrew Marquez has been dropping like a stone, Austin.
Yeah, his alternates are not working out for him. Marquez, you know, he qualified at 8th. He's currently sitting in 8th place. But yeah, his second stint is not working out for him. He was just passed by a massive train. He was behind Porcelli, and then Craig and Mara and Crane all passed around him. And, you know, Marquez just unable to fight with anybody right here on these reds. And I feel like he's reaching the end of these tires. He went in on lap 16 too, so he took a little bit 2-lap earlier stop than everybody else around him. So he is on older tires. Jack Mara goes into the pit lane. So Mara did the short stint, went short on these reds, went in on lap 18, went in again here this lap, and with 17 laps to go, Jack Mara, you know, he did that short stint. He's going to use that to his advantage and try to drag this stint as long as he can all the way to the end. But that is a, you know, there's the debut of the short stint strategy.
On the other side, the driver that has been flying with the new tires has been Rashad Craig, who's now putting David Porcelli in his sights and maybe just get a move for 5th position. So at the front, by the way, we had a couple of bad laps from Blocker, but now he has recovered and is now once again pulling away from Kerry. We are told by the viewers, which we thank, of course, for A, watching, and B, giving us these interesting tidbits, that Jordan Lacey has the world record with the Dallara LP2 car around here.
Yeah, Jordan Lacey is absolutely a flyer around here at the LP2. You know, they drive a little bit different, but he just knows this track very. Oh, Andrew Wood is in the wall, and that is the end of his race. Andrew Wood, big contact, big curb track right there.
Ouch!
Bam, into the side of the wall. It was a square-on hit too, but oh, that's 2 wheels off. That's wing damage. That's side pod damage, and you know, that's the end of his race. It's so unfortunate for Andrew Wood. He was having such a good day too. Was running up there, then unfortunately incidents ended out his race. 2 incidents. This was David Porcelli holding off Rashard Craig. Porcelli on those primary tires went in on lap 18. Craig went in on lap 19 for those alternates that he is still on with 16 laps to go. You can see Porcelli, he does have the grip coming out of this exit. Those primary tires are really gripping up right now, and those alternates, you know, they are starting to fall away, especially off the exits. They're not getting enough grip coming out of the corners.
$16 laps to go, 15 laps to go right now. That's our leader, Adam Blocker, going past the start-finish straight. So let's go through the field very quickly.
Yeah, and Blocker, remember, he had that damage. He went in on lap 15. He has to stop within 3 laps or else he's out of fuel. So Adam Blocker soon expected to come into the pit lane. I believe he's going to go on a short stint, run on the reds to the, well, yeah, it's definitely a short stint. Every pit now is going to be on the reds again and then heading to the end of this race. It's just a question of when. How long of a run do you want to the end? You know, we got 45 laps on here. But yeah, Blocker is in the lead, followed by Brian Carey, who went in. It was the net leader of the primary strategy, went in on lap 18. They were followed by Jordan Lacey, Adam Crane, David Porcelli, Rashard Craig, Andrew Marquez, Kevin Bohulasa, and Cesar Mazzanto, who is the first driver on new tires, went in on lap 27, along with Will Lyon, who is on primaries. Will have that damage. They're followed by Jack Mara and Alex Vanderson. Andrew Wood, Juan De Gregorio, and Connor Harrington are all retired from this race. 12 cars out on track, and we got 4 cars on newer tires. Everybody else still scheduled to make their pits. First car that is on new tires is in 9th place, Cesar Mazzanto, and he is currently 40 seconds behind Adam Blocker. Cesar's last lap was a 1:23.18. That was 2/10 faster than Adam Blocker. Adam Crane heads into the pit lane. Big lockup heading into the pits, but gets underneath that speed limit right there. You know, the speed limit in the pit lane is about 39 miles an hour. So it's a pretty slow pit lane. But Crane getting onto those alternates with 14 laps to go. This is going to be like a fast stint qualifying session for Adam Crane. Time to put in some hot laps, earn your worth right here, and you know, get that undercut going. Because I can tell you, everybody on these tires right now are really struggling. But you know, Crane coming out ahead of Jack Mara, behind Will Lyon, and Will, he's been on these tires now. But Adam Crane is going to have to power through him, and also Will is on those primaries. Adam Blocker, is he going to cover it off? Yes, he does. Dives into the pit lane.
You know, for Adam, it's not the end of the world what happened to him, because since he has to stop early, everyone will want to, you know, stop early with him, because otherwise he has a massive undercut on everyone else, right? So
yes,
in the end, it didn't work out that bad for him.
Didn't work out that bad. He did get a little damage. We're going to be seeing on. It didn't seem like he actually used any time to repair that, as Brian Carey hopped into the pits as well. Jordan Lacey stayed out. David Percelli staying out as well. And Richard Craig heads into the pit lane. Here comes Adam Blocker coming out of the pits. There's Marquez in 4th place. He's side by side with the number 3. And that is David Percelli. And Adam Blocker beats Adam Blocker and Percelli. Percelli's going to beat Blocker out of the pit lane. And Adam Blocker chasing down Percelli in that fight for 2nd place. And Percelli still has to go into the pit lane. So, you know, Adam Blocker, for even getting into damage, he put on such an amazing stint and a run. He was able to really jump and leapfrog the field right here, because Marquez is behind him and Brian Carey is down in 5th place. And, you know, the first driver, Pizzado, is down in 7th place. But, you know, Adam Blocker, for not leading a lap at all at the start of this race, was able to jump. And, you know, our old leader is nowhere to be seen.
Here comes
Blocker. Get a good run.
Yeah, on the inside. And as Jordan Lacey is in the pits from the race lead.
I believe Percelli is heading in. No, he's not. He's staying out as well. 12 laps to go, and Adam Blocker retakes the lead here. As there goes Marquez into the pit. Oh, Jordan Lacey's missed his pit box.
Oh man, what a disaster. What a disaster.
Disastrous pit stop right there.
He's going to drop out of the podium he had gained earlier. Down
he's got 2
5th.
spots. Yeah, he's got 2 spots. He needs to catch up to Brian Carey. And so now that the time is still a little bit scrambled, we got Percelli up in there. He still needs to make one more pit stop, and he's going really long to this run right here on these primaries. Looking at the field, Brian Carey is going to be in 2nd place. So our driver who took pole position and he led a lot of laps into the first stint, he got leapfrogged by Adam Blocker, who just put on an amazing stint right there. And the best thing about Blocker's stop in his stint, even though it was kind of a recovery stop, is... No! Oh, that's Jordan Lacey. Oh, no, Jordan Lacey.
It went from
bad
to
worse.
From great to bad to worse in the span of a minute. Incredible.
Oh, that's how quickly things can turn around here. Jordan Lacey, cold tires, missed his pit stop as he was pushing like a madman. Just hooked a violent crash.
Very smart to pull out of the way immediately, because he was in the middle of the racing line. That's a great move. Very sensible move to do. Not a move that not a lot of people will have the clarity of mind to do after they crash after a situation like this. By the way, 21.4 for Blocker last time by. That's the fastest lap of the race. He is running away with it, Austin. Everything is falling, maybe not according to plan, but everything is falling into place for him.
Yeah, the house of cards are absolutely being built up right there. May have took a little bit of alternate strategy right there for Adam Blocker, but you know, I could say a good point for Blocker is when he went into the pits, he was released into clean air, and he was just able to lock down his laps while everybody else was diving in for the pit lane, and nobody was really holding him up, holding him back with that dirty air, and he didn't have to fight anybody on those new set of tires, and he was able to just string together laps that was able to have him leapfrog Brian Carey, and that is such a beautiful move. And you know, Blocker and Lion were in the fight for second place behind Carey, and Carey still ahead of Will behind him, but man, Adam Blocker, that strategy, that situation just worked out in his favor, if totally not intended to. That's Adam Crane diving down the inside and making that move stick. And that is ahead of Will Lyon, and Adam Crane up 9 spots from not qualifying at all. But here comes Will on the attack, trying to hold it around the outside, but Will on those primaries unable to hold it right there, unable to gain the grip around the outside on these new alternate tires that Adam Crane has, and is going to start stretching out those legs and make it work for him.
So, 10 laps to go, Austin. Porcelli still owes us a pit stop, is the last one.
Yeah, Porcelli really stretched out that stop last minute on lap 18, so we're expecting for him to head into the pits this lap, or I need to talk to iRacing and just say, hey, this guy somehow went this long on his pit stop, but he's just activated push to pass, so I'm expecting this to be a really fast run down the straight for David Porcelli, and you know, he might be going for that really fast lap, and there goes Porcelli into the pit lane, 4 seconds behind Blocker, and I expect Porcelli to come out in 4th place behind Mazzato and ahead of Crane.
Quick, you know, comment from Jordan Lacey, saying that he can't believe he crashed.
Now
Oh, look at Lion.
Look at the wheel off the exit. Off the exit of the chicane, had a much faster route. He had push to pass activated on the straight. Gets ahead of Adam Crane, sends it up the inside on those old primary tires. Goes out a little bit wide. Crane down the inside with those fresh alternates. Able to stretch it out right there. Side-by-side action heading into the first chicane here at Montreal, and able to make the move work right there. Adam Crane will allow a great fight for 4th place.
David Porcelli came out just behind Andrew Marcus. These are the fights we have to keep an eye on.
Porcelli on those new alternates, chasing out Marquez. Marquez also on new alternates as well, but 3-lap newer tires for Porcelli. But you know, Will on those primaries, those old primaries, trying to fight and hold and attack Adam Crane is just impressive. That is impressive commitment right there, even on old tires that don't have enough grip right there. That is a insane pace, but he's activated push to pass again, took that inside line as Adam Crane went wide. Actually, no, we're looking at David Porcelli and Marquez. Porcelli pushed to pass down the inside and making the move into P8. Car with the newest tires on track. 8 laps to go here at Montreal. Back to Crane and Lyon. And look at this fight. Looking at Adam Crane's time, he is battling right there, but he is putting together some nice sectors, and he is 10 seconds behind Mazzato. So unless something happens to him, Adam Crane will be making a last row to 4th effort right here. But you know, what a story it would be for Adam Crane to be starting on the last row, power his way on his home track to get onto the podium.
Mazzato still holding on to the 3rd place, and I mean, he was such a regular in this championship many years ago when I first started. So great to see him there, but Crane, of course, would be very sorry. But Lyon, of course, on the primaries, is you know, using the primaries that are 4 laps older than Crane alternates, and using them to very good effect, and still is basically
He's got the
a
draft.
shadow of Crane there.
Yeah, Will Lyon is going to be on a much faster fuel tank right here because he can make it to the end of the race, and he's running a lighter car right here. So Will Lyon able to get that draft, get onto the inside, forcing Adam Crane to go wide and fight him right there. And that's going to increase their gap to the car in front and decrease their gap to the car behind. We're going to have a 4-car fight for 4th very soon. Make that a 5-car fight, as that is Jack Barber, Sean Craig, and David Porcelli, who just put in a purple sector 3 last time by in a 121.73. He almost challenged Blocker, and there's contact. Will Lyon got into the back of Adam Crane. There's contact right there. There's a giant parking lot. And Lyon has lost his front wing for the 2nd time in this race. But it's been given back to him by iRacing, thankfully, or else that would have been disastrous. But look at this absolute cluster right here. Porcelli able to make the move onto the inside of Jack Mara, as there's Rashard Craig ahead of him.
A massive dive from Will the next time he can.
Oh, we're expecting the send. Okay, well, that's right there. Jack Mara really went deep, heading into the hairpin, but yeah, no send right there. But push to pass being activated by Craig Porcelli and Angel Marquez, who at the back of this fight. Adam Crane has an entire attack of push to pass behind him. And here comes Will looking up to his inside. Not going to make the move right there, but everybody feeling the opportunity to make some moves happen. They are definitely on the charge. They're soon the red mist with 6 laps to go here at Montreal. Will right on the gearbox of Adam Crane. Crane, he's got a party behind him, and he doesn't want any of them right there. They came in there like the Beastie Boys. As Will's better watch out behind his rear, behind him as well, as here comes Craig and Porcelli and Jack Mara. As this is where that contact happened last time by. No contact this time by, and those primaries are looking a little bit worn. Here comes Porcelli looking on the inside of Rashard Craig. Porcelli drag racing it down the inside. He's got a great run, sending it up onto the inside. Easy as pie for Porcelli on the newest tires, and he's closing in on Will ahead and a top 5.
Beautiful fight here in this group from 4th place downwards. Seems like after that little bit of a collision, Crane has been able to pull away from Lyon just a little bit, just what is needed to stay away from trouble. But this final sector is where Crane is most struggling, Austin.
Yeah, you see Will looking up the inside, selling the dummy right there. Crane's not buying it, but Will is so good through that final sector. His car is so much faster. It goes faster in a straight line. You know, he's on a lighter fuel tank right now. Look down the inside. He could have made that move down the inside right there, but just decides that he's just going to be staying behind Crane, trying to force a mistake out of Adam Crane. And this is a beautiful train of cars that we got going on in the fight for 4th place. And, you know, they're certainly slowing each other down right here. Mazzato is probably looking at his relative and just saying, okay, I think I've locked up 3rd place right now. I just need to drive my own race. But look at the back of Lyon. He's got that 3 on his tail. David Porcelli pushed to pass activated. He made this move on Rashard Craig. He's getting defended all the way out to the grass, but Porcelli's got his nose down on the inside right here. Porcelli and Lyon, they're going drag racing down to the inside. Porcelli makes the move for 5th place, and now his next target is Adam Crane. And Crane took that opportunity and said, goodbye, Lyon. I'm going to pull away and make this my own race. Here's Rashard Craig trying to hold around the outside. Porcelli locks up in the hairpin, trying to catch up to Crane, as there is Will Lyon making an opportunistic dive to stay ahead of Rashard Craig. And Rashard Craig right there. Push to pass activated for Will Lyon to stay ahead of Craig. But Craig is gaining and Lyon is falling. Those old primary tires are not in the groove right now compared to these fresh alternate tires that everyone else has. And now it's a 2-car fight for 4th currently right now between Porcelli and Crane. And with 4 laps to go too, David Porcelli on those extremely fresh tires compared to Adam Crane. Adam Crane, 5-lap older tires on these alternates. and he is running into that dead zone that they have in the middle of the race that we were given information from our coaches at Apex Racing Academy that they were talking about before the race, and I believe we're starting to see it right now. David Porcelli able to cut through that field like butter, that very big stack up, and he's still made up all those positions and was able to catch right back up to the back of Crane and sit in 5th place, but he wants that 4th spot right now. David Porcelli wants nothing more than to keep going ahead and not seeing any car ahead of him. Right there is, you know, Will Lyon is still there, and he's calculated that push to pass use very well. He's got 3 push to pass left with 3 laps to go. Adam Crane, look back for him. You see Porcelli, he's bobbing and weaving down that front straight. Adam Crane's got 2 push to pass uses left. David Porcelli has 1 push to pass left. Will sliding into the wall of champions, into the chicane right there, able to keep the car under control, but somehow entered the chicane pretty much sideways, able to catch it and still make up ground on Porcelli.
Yes, also 3 laps to go right now for these guys. The leaders are already. The leader is halfway through his
Adam
lap.
Blocker is in New York right now. That's how far ahead he is. He's in a different country.
So I don't want to jump the gun too soon. Seems like Crane. No, yeah, I'm not saying it because I was about to say Crane has finally repelled every attack, and as soon as I say that, here comes Porcelli with a massive run towards the second chicane.
No push to pass used by Porcelli, but yeah, he's really locked into that second sector. As Crane still has Porcelli behind him, and he's definitely defending right now. 2 laps to go here, this time by. As look at Porcelli, look at who is on his tail right there. Will Lyon, and Porcelli's using his last push to pass to hold off Will Lyon. Will still has 2 push to pass uses left, but he was all over the gearbox of Porcelli. Man, he is money through that hairpin chicane section because he's right on him. It's just unfortunately that he's not on the right tire at this point compared to everybody else, but everybody else has been pushing this much that those primary tires can stay alive for a lot longer, and I feel like he has hit that money spot where all these primary tires ahead of him are struggling for grip now. Will Lyon might be able to take the fight for Porcelli and take a surprise top 5.
Barney with a white flag in hand already. As these guys continue to fight, we saw a glimpse of Cesare Manzato for just a second. He's really enjoying this fight in his relative box.
Now Manzato went on the alternate strategy, went into the box on lap 27, and that will get him all the way to the end, all the way running on the field on the very last lap, just after the checkered flag, is Adam Crane. He's got a lot of traffic behind him, 5 cars deep, and a charging Porcelli and Will Lyon. Speaking of Will Lyon, setting it up the inside of the hairpin where he had the contact with Adam Crane. And, well, Adam Blocker and looking around the outside. Use the alternative grip. That is Porcelli defending that top 5 spot. But here comes Will Lyon around the outside. Push to pass activated. Everything working great for Will Lyon. Back into 5th place. Take a big shot on the curb right there. White flag. 1 lap to go here at Montreal. The one fight we got for 4th.
Absolutely, Austin. Absolutely. This little bit of a battle helped Crane just a bit, but now look, Lyon is already once again back in his rear wing, on his rear wing. So this is not over just yet, and behind them, of course, Craig, Porcelli and Marra with unsolved and unfinished business.
Porcelli's tires are gone. Porcelli has lost a lot of time to Lyon, and Lyon is right on the gearbox of Crane. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. Will Lyon, I think, is better on the brakes than everybody in this pack because he was able to stay on Adam Crane's tail end right there. Adam Crane taking a very defensive line. Lyon and Crane, they both have to push to pass, 1 push to pass remaining, and this is a great drag race heading into the hairpin. Adam Blocker takes the victory here at Montreal, but that's not the fight that we want to be watching right now. Look for 4th place. It is Crane looking out the outside. He left the door open for Will. Will's not going to go for it. Last push to pass uses for Will Lyon. Crane leading out this drag race right now. He's snaking, bobbing, and weaving, trying to get out of the draft fight everybody else. They're separating just a little bit. It's a last chance dive for Will. Will's got a great run, but is he going to have the better final chicane? Adam Crane landing in for the one last time. It's a white flag out. Here comes Will. Will's got a great run. He's right on the gearbox. He's going to go onto the outside, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be Adam Crane taking 4th place. Will Lyon in 5th. And David Porcelli in 6th place. Richard Craig in 7th. Marquez in 8th place. Wow, what a last lap. Wow, what a closing stint right there. Crane, Lyon, and Porcelli were putting on an amazing racing performance right there.
Absolutely, Austin, as we wait for everyone to come home. Everyone is home, and so we are ready to give you the final race results, the official race results for tonight's race. Here from Montreal, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The winner, of course, is Adam Blocker. There he is, with 7.7 seconds over Brian Carey. Cesare Manzato rounds up the podium. Adam Crane finished 4th in front of Will Lyon, David Porcelli, Rashad Craig, Andrew Marcus, and Jack Barra. This is a very exciting, fantastic battle pack that we had. Kevin Boulassin in 10th in front of Alex Van de Zandt and Jordan Lacey. Andrew Wood was 13th, 14th for Giorgi Gregorio, and Connor Harrington unfortunately finished last of the running cars. What a race, Austin. What a way to kick off the final 4 rounds of the season, as I think Blocker is burning it down. I beat you to it.
Oh, dang it. Well, we did say donuts are the best way to celebrate in any sort of situation. Adam Blocker certainly, when we thought his race was over with that damage and contact with Will Lyon, and he's blown the engine, we thought that that was his race and it was going to go to someone, a different winner here today. But, you know, it really came into favor. He saw that he didn't have that much damage on his car, and so he just put the pedal to the metal on that recovery stint, made that work, and made the overcut. No, he just leapfrogged Brian Carey to take the lead, and what a race that he had. And also, speaking of what a race, let's talk about Adam Crane's race. Starting in the very last row, invalidated both his qualifying laps to jump up to 4th place, had a great first stint on the primaries, got into 9th place after a few laps, and was able to hold it right there, then just run his own race and just move his way up the field, work his own strategy to get up to 4th and defend from a charging Will Lyon and David Porcelli, who are really, really making Adam Crane earn his money right there and earn that position. It was certainly beautiful. And let's not forget about Brian Carey. He had such a fantastic race as well. Started up on pole, did everything right. But, you know, sometimes just doing everything right doesn't happen a lot. And let's talk to Adam Blocker right now, who, you know, at one point we saw him heading into the pits and we thought that was his race. Adam, congrats on the win. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, I got really lucky today for several reasons. I mean, for example, people like Kraus missing the race, and then Adam Crane having a poor qualifying. That made it a little bit easier. And then, yeah, I kind of screwed up qualifying on my own. Brian did a really good lap. I don't think I would have beaten that anyway. I probably should have been P2. So, you know, congrats to Brian on the pole. That was a really good lap. Yeah, lap 1, I was trying to get past Connor, and then out of the first complex, you know, I was kind of let him have it, and then he spun on his own right in front of me. And I got super lucky. I jammed on the brakes and lifted and everything, and I still made light contact with him. I almost broke my front wing there, and that would have been disaster both for the wing change and also everything else associated with that. So got lucky there and managed to catch Will and Brian, and yeah, they were kind of, I knew I was quicker and I was kind of trying to be patient, but it was really hard to get runs. So eventually I got a decent enough run, and I'd kind of scoped out the move. So I really just sent it on Will into the hairpin, and it was going to work. He just got wheel spin and basically spun into me. And yeah, I got really lucky that the damage I had wasn't too bad.
And speaking of the damage, you went into the pits immediately. And, well, what we thought that was going to be the end of the race, but you were let out in a spot for that second stint to really put together laps, and you were able to leapfrog Brian. Like you said, you were feeling much faster than him. And, you know, when we came out of the pit stops, that final pit stop run, you were really ahead of Brian Carey, and you were off in the lead. And what was going through your head when you realized that you were leading the race after putting together that second stint?
Well, when I came out of the pits, I was just looking to see what my top speed was, and my top speed was down, but it was maybe only costing me a tenth or so. And I knew the undercut's pretty big here with the tire fall off. You know, it was like a second a lap or something, and Brian probably stayed out longer than he should have, but that meant he had a big tire advantage on me when he came out. So I knew the hard part of the race would be trying to manage the gap when he was on fresher tires, and I managed to do that and basically hold him to like 2.5 seconds, something like that. And then just extended out the last stint so I didn't come out in traffic, and or the last stint to be back on the same strategy as him, and yeah, ended up, you know, making it work. Yeah, at first obviously I kind of thought my race was over. At least I knew I could drive, but I thought my car was off pace, so I just pitted immediately, hoping that something could be fixed. But I had like 21 seconds optional, and I'm like, no, I'm just not going to take that. Just hope it works. So,
well, it certainly worked out for you. You took another win here, and probably one of the best strategy races of the season. You know, the double stop, the opportunity to take a longer stint, shorter stint, and really line yourself up for that final stint. You did everything right today, even while thinking on your feet, and you took the win here. Adam, before we let you go and celebrate this one to get ready for Indianapolis next week, anyone you want to thank?
yeah, I just want to thank the guys at Powerslide for working on the setup, especially Brian. Him and I did a lot of work on the setup, and definitely want to congratulate him on a good run. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and you guys for calling the race.
And thank you for putting on a great show out there. Congrats on the win, Adam. And over to Marco, who is standing by with Brian.
Thank you, Austin. Brian, welcome to the booth. Second place for you. How was the race from your perspective?
Not too bad, Marco. I was again, I should always prepare for getting a good lap or whatever like that. I figured based on my qualifying pace and practice, I might be like 5th or 6th. So to come out on pole position really kind of changed the strategy a little bit. And it was nice to lead at the beginning there. I knew I probably wasn't going to hold it. I don't think I had the race pace to stay there. But overall, that was fantastic. I'll take a second place at Montreal any day.
Yeah, especially because, again, you showed great pace in qualifying. In race, you were always in control. Yeah, especially the track like this, where you can never, stop concentrating, because this track we have seen in the past, we have seen tonight, it's so easy to make a mistake. So I can imagine these were 45 incredibly hard laps in the cockpit for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tense here. Montreal has a little bit more margin of error, but like you have their street tracks in iRacing like Detroit, Long Beach, where I do well there as well for the same kind of reason. But I think Montreal is almost a little bit harder because that little bit of gap gives you like a sense of hope that you're not going to hit a wall if you make a mistake, but really it's going to bite you no matter what you do. So we worked really hard on making sure our car was stable. Felt really good about the setup. I'm not sure about our ultimate pace. I think we still need to find some like ultimate pace of the car. Like, it's silly to say, like, I know we got pole position in this race, but there's still a lot more to come there. But end of the day, our car was planted, both Adam and I. We had an awesome car. Really just riding it out 45 laps wasn't easy, but it was as easy as we could make it, so I'm happy with that.
3 rounds left. We have Indianapolis, then we have Mosport, and we round up things at Texas. Where can we expect to see you, and what are your hopes for the last 3 races of the season?
Well, I mean, I'll try to be at Mosport. Hopefully I'm around that weekend. I might be traveling, so I might miss that one, but that's another really, really good track of mine. I mean, just being Canadian and all that. Not that I have any direct experience there. If they would scan Tremblant into the service, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, hopefully there. My oval rating, unfortunately, is not really up to snuff right now. I don't have the time to put in to get my iRating up on the oval side. I mean, I've been running this series for a while when it's been on a road license, so my 2.5K oval rating is really not enough to cut it to get the big points. But we'll see if I'm around. I'd love to do Indianapolis. Texas, I mean, that's always a bit of a crapshoot there, but who knows? Wouldn't mind finishing the season strong and looking for season 1 next year.
Well, awesome, Brian. Thanks. Congratulations again. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
This week, I'm just going to throw it out to my teammate Adam. I mean, we spent a good portion of the time yesterday and over the weekend working on setups, throwing stuff out there. So in particular, Adam, just the rest of the team, Powerslide. It's good to get a result, good to get a 1-2, and looking forward to more good races.
Awesome. Thanks, and I'll catch you very, very soon, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Marco.
That was Brian Carey, second place, representing Canada, of course, in his home race. Austin, well, I can already feel your excitement. We are heading for Indianapolis. We all know what happened the last time Apex Racing TV had the broadcast of the SOF race at Indianapolis. What can we expect?
Oh, we can expect a amazing race and just absolute, well, Indy 500 vibes. It's not going to be the Indy 500. It's going to be the Indy 250 because it's just going to be 100 laps at Indianapolis. It's not the full thing. It's just halfway. But I can tell you, they're still going to be treating it like it is Indianapolis. They're going to be seeing a lot of cars testing their setups. A lot of cars really trimmed out right here. They're going to be treating this like this is the crown jewel of this season. And you know what? I am all for it. If you've seen SOF IndyCar racing at Indianapolis, it can get pretty wild. Last time we had a one-lap shootout to determine the winner, and that ended in a 6-car wreck at the start-finish line. And, you know, it pretty much led to you, me, and our other commentator just losing our minds out there. And I could pretty much expect that we're going to be seeing something similar to that. We're going to be seeing some strategy calls. We're going to be seeing some amazing racing, and we're going to be seeing the beautiful Indianapolis Motor Speedway at its glory around the oval, and I can't wait for next week. And I hope everybody can't wait for next week too here on Apex Racing TV for another round of the iRacing IndyCar Open Series. Thank you everybody for joining us this week at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We'll see you next time at IMS Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I've been joined by Marco Barbanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.